Habari! Welcome to our third episode of This Might Sound Foreign, brought to you by Across the Border CIC. I'm your host, Moada Muhammad.
And I'm choosing which one I want to go with today. Maisa Touf.
I want to start off. Sorry, that was so loud. I just got really excited.
You should put like a disclaimer, lower the volume. You know.
No, because this was something that we wanted to do on the second episode, but I didn't get the chance to. But I really, really, really want to quiz you on the world we live in. So I have a quiz for you.
Okay, first of all, disclaimer. Really bad at geography. That's number one.
Fine.
Number two, I'm quizzing you back because I'm petty like that.
No, I get to do.
No,
I get
because
to.
I know exactly why you're doing this to embarrass me, to show me as
No.
uneducated, and
No,
we shall
guys,
all
I'm
be
not
in
like
the same
that.
boat.
I'm not like that.
No pun intended.
Okay, fine, fair enough. That's fine. Okay, we'll start off easy. What country invented the number zero? Okay, let me say it properly. What country invented the number zero?
I don't know the country, but I know it's the Arab world. No, actually, never mind. It's India.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
The Arab
ancient
world created-
Indian
yeah.
mathematicians.
The Arab world created other stuff.
Yeah, actually, fun fact: the numbers I read somewhere, like the
English
numbers
numbers
that
or
we
Arab
use
numbers?
now, are actually like from Arabic, like
Yeah.
connotations or whatever.
Give us back our numbers, bitches.
Now on to a very hard, tricky question: what are the names of the 7 continents of the world?
That's insanity. Okay. Asia, Africa, Europe, Antarctica, Oceania, America up, America down,
America up, America down.
South America, and North America.
Yeah, no, you did really good.
No.
Oh
know my
wow!
geography. I did geography.
Okay, here's a
GCSEs.
trick question. What's another variation, or another variation for Oceania?
Australia.
Nice. See, guys, she knows the world.
I only have 2 degrees, to fucking prove it. But yeah. I didn't.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, I didn't learn this in my degrees, if that makes it any better.
What is the capital of Canada?
Ooh. Quebec? Wait. Ontario. No, but it's on that side,
Double
isn't
down.
it? It's on that side.
Close, yeah.
It's where Toronto is. Like that side,
Yeah,
like
that side.
the east side.
Yeah. It does start with O, so you were on the right track.
I don't know any other place with O in Canada. Okay, wait.
OTT.
OTT? Ottawa, no?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
Guys, she knows her places.
I already know one hate comment that's coming in our direction.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a specific question for that reason. Okay, what is the name of the river that flows through the Brazilian rainforest?
That's insane. I know it. There's the Amazon forest.
Huh?
Amazon forest.
Amazon forest?
Yeah.
No,
sure that's
that's
in Brazil.
wrong because I'm talking about a river. Why are you naming a forest?
No, but like, it's like, when you're describing, when someone tells you where do you live, you'd be like, oh, next to the Yusuf Mosque, for example. So right now this is my thought process. So I know there's an Amazon forest there.
You're closer than you think.
You know what's so funny? I don't even, like, sometimes what happens, like, I remember, like, I would know the name in Arabic, but then I'll have to start, like,
Yeah,
looking for it in English, or sometimes I know the English, I'll have to look for Arabic. Both are not coming in my head. Okay,
Excuses.
wait.
It is the Amazon River. You said Amazon forest.
Yeah, I know, but then, obviously, like, I knew it was the Amazon something.
Well,
To be fair, I
that's
should
not
have
my
trusted
problem.
myself. I
Not
knew
my
there was
problem.
something Amazon, but I just wasn't sure. Yeah, I should have trusted myself. Like,
I think that's enough for today.
that was embarrassing. Okay.
No, but it was my idea to quiz you. You can't quiz me back.
No, baby, we're getting embarrassed together. We are gonna get
Oh,
embarrassed
God.
for the views together. Okay. And for reference, by the way, I asked ChatGPT for 10th graders. So if you don't know this, that means you're dumber than a 10th grader. As a 10th grader, geography
I
questions.
didn't do that to you. I did not do that to you.
10th
I
grader?
literally just went on a website that has geography questions. You're now testing not just like my geography skills, she's testing my IQ.
No, but
That's
it's 10th,
offensive.
It's 10th grader.
Yeah, that's hard.
Year 10.
That's hard.
You've passed that ages ago.
I
10 years
know.
ago.
With difficulty and stress.
With thoughts and prayers.
I don't want to relive
Okay.
that.
Let me see. I'll try to make it. Okay.
Try and make it.
Name the world's largest mountain.
Largest?
Mountain range, yeah.
Tallest, you mean?
Largest.
Ah, okay,
It would've
it's
been too
definitely not
easy
the
if it's-
Himalayas, Mount Everest. Is it Mount Kilimanjaro?
غلط. You should have trusted
No,
yourself.
wait. No, but it's not the largest. It's the tallest. It's the highest mountain.
And who said it's mutually exclusive?
I'll let that one pass, guys. But I'm pretty sure it's not the largest mountain.
I think ChatGPT would know more than you, but okay.
Sometimes it's wrong. You shouldn't have used ChatGPT.
Google it.
Okay.
Embarrass yourself. What's the largest mountain range? The Himalayas. I was gonna give you a hint. It's like, oh, it's similar to a salt, but you beat me to it.
See, the Andes Mountains are the longest mountain range.
Longest. Exactly.
Okay, wait.
Let's use the correct vocabulary here.
Oh my God! Wait.
I'm coming at you with like a very... It would show how much...
Okay, it's not, guys. It's not showing the largest. It's showing the longest or the tallest. It's not showing the largest. So clearly, that question does not count. I'm not gonna take that for an answer.
She's deflecting.
No.
Okay, anyways. Okay, let me ask you. This question, your African passport, because you know Africa, we all know it's one country, right?
Yeah.
So your African passport is on the line. Which African country was never colonized by a European power? Your African passport is on the line.
Wait, there's only one country. There are many countries that weren't
Technically
colonized.
two. But like one. Like definitively one, but there's another one is like that is like
Is this a trick question? Because
No.
I was thinking South Sudan since it's the youngest country, and you know it gained
But
like
I
its
think-
independence very but technically speaking, all of Sudan was colonized.
Sudan was colonized. Yeah.
Is it?
It's not.
Is it
I'm only giving you
Djibouti?
no.
Wait, what does it start with?
E.
Eritrea?
No.
Ethiopia?
Yeah.
See, I knew it.
After 500 tries only.
No, guys, I
What
knew
the-
I
what
knew
the-
it was in the Horn of Africa. I knew that. So
Listen,
yeah,
your African passport on the table right now.
no,
The
it doesn't
entire-
exist.
For real doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So technically speaking, I'm passing this.
With difficulty.
You're asking really tough questions. There's no way this is a 10th grade.
Wallah, it says 10th grader.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, let's see if you get this. Name the agreement signed in 2015 where many nations pledged to reduce carbon emission.
I was a minor back then.
So? It's
What
about
do you mean so?
It's about carbon footprint.
I don't know what agreement. Is it like, I don't know, peace treaty? I don't know.
It's a country agreement. The country agreement. And then
the
is
country.
no, as in like the space, and it's a country name agreement.
Is that country in Europe?
Yes, and it's a city as a matter of fact, not country. But like it's
Oh, why did you see now? See now she twisted my brain.
because I wanted to make it
It's a
harder.
city. Is it a
It's city.
capital city?
Yes.
The Paris Agreement.
Yeah. The only reason I asked it because I know you're like obsessed with French rap.
I'm not.
Sure. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done too.
I
I've
think-
been done ages
I
ago. But
think
I
you're not
think I did
passing to 11th
no,
grade.
I think I did better than you did. But
I doubt it. At least I
I-
started strong and then
I
I
asked
dwindled.
very generic questions, guys. Like this was too specific. So we're
Accept
never gonna
defeat.
do a quiz again. Let's agree to that.
Maybe not geography. Maybe we should do the history next.
Oh, I'm even worse at history.
Me too. Me too. So bad.
Yeah.
So bad. I can't remember the last time I took a history lesson.
We'll see. We'll see if it survives.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Today, enough about us. Episode 2, we shared a bit too much. So today we're gonna
enough to get deported back home.
Yeah, today we're going to be reading a lot of like Reddit stories, tweets about, immigrants or people who have experienced situations with migrants and and some dilemmas here and there. So I think it'll be nice to see how other people are living.
Yeah.
But
You know, I always say sometimes it brings me comfort to know I'm not the only one who's struggling. This is an ethnic dish. Each one of us calls it something different, but it's basically healthy chips. It's not chips, and it's neither is it healthy, but yeah.
You're really distracting me today. You really are. You're like a pet cat. Literally. Like, that's how Mace is.
Imagine once I get a cat, and we're going to be filming him here.
You're not getting a cat. She's not getting a cat, guys.
Don't speak this into existence. Like, after med school, my dream was like a cat. If I couldn't go to med school, let me get a cat.
Okay, so this is a story or a tweet by someone named Enger_series on Twitter or X. And they said something really wholesome. So if you're visiting the UK for the first time and have no one to pick you up, congratulations. You've unlocked the Welcome to Chaos package. The transportation system feels like rocket science at first. It's a different ball game entirely. Oh my God, I so relate. Especially in London. Oof. So, on this fateful day last week, I was on a train minding my business when I noticed a guy a few seats away. He had that unmistakable, I'm lost and regretting life decisions look. And of course, the classic signs were there. Big travel boxes with flight tags, a visibly frustrated demeanor, and looked Nigerian. We know ourselves, don't we? Now, picture this. A jam-packed London Underground train on a workday morning. People were squeezed in like sardines, but there he was, looking out of place with those huge boxes in the middle of madness. I was standing by the door, ready to get off at Liverpool Street Station, and I silently prayed he'd do the same so I could help him out. To my relief, and possibly his too, he followed the crowd and got off. I walked up to him and asked the golden question. Are you lost? His answer was an exhausted yes. Turns out he'd arrived in the country that morning and had been wandering around trying to figure out how to get to Wolverhampton. Had no internet. He even said he'd do Uber. I was like, Uber to Wolverhampton. He insisted. We checked, and it was £379. Never will I let him spend that on a cab. I checked his route, Euston to Birmingham, then Wolverhampton. Easy, right? Wrong. I spent 5 minutes trying to explain that Euston Square Station and Euston Station are close, but two different stations. Guys, I had to learn that the hard way as well.
Me too.
I checked my watch and knew that this would make me 30 to 45 minutes late for work, but I decided to help anyway. I grabbed one of his bags, led him to Euston Station, took him to the exact platform, and even watched him board the train. I gave him clear instructions on what to do when he gets to Birmingham and handed over my number just in case. He was so grateful, and honestly, I felt like a hero. It was one of those rare moments where you feel like you've cleared your debt with humanity. What a wholesome little tweet, honestly, and what an amazing gentleman.
No, 100%. Also, I think it's very rare to see that in London. People, they're just minding their own business.
If you're literally hyperventilating in the middle of the tube station, they will just step over you. They don't care. So,
especially on a work day?
Yes.
No one is going to be late for nobody. People are ready to push children to be on time.
Especially for a migrant of color as well.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So this was.
It is less likely for you to be offered help when you are visibly a migrant.
Oh, of course, of course. So yeah, this was really wholesome, and I think it just made my day that much better because I was like, oh, that's amazing, and it took me back to a few years ago when I was volunteering at, one of the hospitals,
Yeah.
and I was going back home, and I was at King's Cross Station, and there's this young, well, she's not really middle-aged Pakistani woman, and she came to me and she was asking me like, oh, where do I go to this place? And she wanted to go to Stratford, and I was like, oh, it's there and everything, and she was really confused. And then I started speaking to her in Urdu because I'm fluent in Urdu, and she was like, the spark in her eyes, she was like so grateful because it looked like she was pacing around the area for so long, and it was the evening, it was about 7 p.m. I think, and yeah, I felt really bad, so I was like, okay, what I can do is I can take her to this train station, and then I can just reroute and take the national rail from
Yeah.
there, and then yeah, so then I did that, but then I noticed like she was so lost, like she didn't know what was happening. And in my head, I was having mental battles. I was like, is this safe? Am I like in a scam? Am I gonna,
Yeah.
And it was really bad. But then thankfully, there were people around and everything, and I knew my way. I was very familiar with the London roads and streets and everything. So I just helped her out. She had a suitcase like the Nigerian guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I took her to Stratford, guys. When I tell you, she came and she squealed, and she hugged me so tight, and she started crying, and she was like, I don't know what I would have done without you and everything. And I was like, I felt like a hero too. Like,
Yeah.
it was, and I remember I told you about this, and I was like, you guys should be showing the same energy as me. But then their response was like, girlie, be careful, be careful. And I was like, I know you guys are looking out for me, but that doesn't matter. The situation's over now. I'm telling you the story now that it's past. Like,
Yeah.
and then they, but yeah, I understand what you guys meant, but yeah.
I feel like, with that being said, I kind of understand as well that sometimes in London we over, how do I say this? Like, we make it seem like it's literally like the biggest, most dangerous city out there,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is fair
yeah.
enough. Like, it
Yeah.
is quite not like, it's not safe all the time. There's certain areas where it's not the safest and whatever, but like, she's, and then we also are always told about like, oh, scammers.
Oh,
Don't
yes,
scan
yeah.
random codes in the streets. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't do connect to internet. Use VPN or whatever. They're gonna steal your data. Scammers over the phone or whatever. Which is true, but sometimes it's blown out of proportion to the point that, like, yeah, technically speaking, in that scenario, like, I'm pretty sure they've always told us, like, oh, they always work with accomplices. They take you to like a
Of
stranded
course,
area, and then
yeah.
they take you, obviously, with
They use kids,
women.
they use pregnant
Yes,
women, they use
yes.
like elderlies.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like, obviously there is risk.
Always a
There's
chance,
always
yeah.
there's always a chance. There's always a risk. That's why it's always best to be safe.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's
sometimes
only
you just
it
know
only
it.
takes one minor
Yeah.
mistake and you're done for.
Yeah.
There's no going back. So 100%, you guys should definitely be careful. But I don't know what happened, like, to me. Like, it just felt like she was genuinely so lost the second I spoke to her in Urdu, because she had really broken English, so she was even struggling to articulate what she was trying to say. And then I just started speaking to her in Urdu, and then she explained everything to me, and I was like, oh my god, this girl has been strolling around for the past 4 hours not knowing how to get out of the station.
Yeah.
I was honestly, like, I felt so bad. So then I was like, let's just go together. It's fine. I even lied to her a bit. I was like, I'm going there anyway. It's okay. So we went there and everything. But honestly, like, in my head, there was a mental battle. I was like, is this a setup?
Yeah.
Is this a setup? But, I literally, like, dropped her off at Jubilee Line, Stratford Station, didn't even leave the Jubilee Line, and just went back. So yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's valid. I think sometimes we do get too scared, and that's why people are,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
this is the culture here. You don't approach, you mind your business and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I do get sometimes it's dangerous and stuff like that. But if you have someone with you, if you've informed someone, and I think it's, dare I say, more dangerous for people like us who don't have family members here,
Exactly,
because if we
yeah.
go missing, who's even putting posters for us? Like, no one is, like, literally, like,
Yeah.
even if we get sick, like, we actually don't have a support system. That maybe people who, for example, let's say second generation, or people who've been here for so long enough, they've established a family. they have that support system. But like for us, it's like we always have to be defend ourselves. We have to be careful because we actually don't have a support system. Like if we were back home,
Yeah.
I'll pick up the phone and like call A, B, C, and D. I'll call my dad. I'll call whatever. But like here, we actually genuinely don't have anybody. So even if we wanted to, like for example, take a leap of like trust and go and help that person, we have to be extra careful than other people.
Extra vigilant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that day my empathetic side just took the best of me because
Yeah.
I could have easily just given her directions and that's it and just went about my day. And I'm sure she would have found her way, granted that it might take her ages.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just had time that night and I was just like, oh, poor you. Like, I really want to help you. And, you know, it wasn't like we were in an Uber together or like, you know, so I think I was trying to comfort myself in the sense where I was like,
Public transport.
it's literally public transport and all I'm doing is I'm just going to Stratford. And I like at that time I was like on my final year of uni.
Yeah.
So I would commute to around Stratford anyway. So I think I was just seeing it as that and I was like, it's a bit harmless, but it's still a risk, so do
Yeah.
be careful, guys.
Yeah,
But
trust
thankfully
your
nothing
gut.
happened.
Yeah, it's a nice gesture, and in the end of the day, it turns out to be good, and it probably made her day. Like, probably
Oh,
she went
yes,
back
I was
home, and then
beaming.
she was like, "Oh my god, this person helped me," and everything like that. She probably
Yeah.
actually genuinely helped her a lot. But with that being said, sometimes you know you have to put yourself first and make sure that you are in the most safest space, and then you'll be able to help people. But
Please
if your
don't ignore
gut-
people, though. Don't ignore
Don't
people.
ignore
Don't
people,
be ignorant,
Yeah.
please.
I think like like don't because this small gesture probably meant the world to her, and then like we should be helping each other and stuff like that, but be careful. That's it.
Of course, yeah. Be very cautious,
Yeah.
especially in London or any major cities
Yes.
where it's like, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
be careful. Also, lately we've been having this really cute toy on here. She is 4 years old, and she's actually Turkish. And I found her in a homeless shelter.
Damn. All the way in Turkey.
Homeless shelter called Duty Free, and I had to get her. So she's in good hands, and she's been with Mace. She's been abducted by Mace. Actually, she took her without my permission.
Yes.
But yeah, she's going strong. So
Marrying an illegal immigrant.
ooh,
That could be a very good love story or a very bad one.
oh, that's juicy.
Um,
And wait, an illegal immigrant.
illegal. We would like to clarify that no one is illegal. Everyone has the right to seek
True, yeah.
asylum.
Yeah.
And I think in what people refer to when they say illegal immigrant is people who came here in the non-traditional routes. I think this story is based in the US though. Yes, it is in the US. Okay.
Immigrants are immigrants.
Exactly. Everyone has the right to claim asylum, therefore no one is illegally an immigrant. Hello all, a US citizen who is considering marrying my partner who is in the country on an overstayed visa. I'm worried that this process will bring more attention to her status. Will we be putting her at risk for deportation by starting this process? Any tips and tricks on the process is greatly appreciated. TIA for your help. Thank you.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding is, at first I thought it was a woman, but it sounds like it's a man, right?
I'm
Marrying their spouse, their wife. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it could be a girl actually, but yeah. So they want to marry their girlfriend or whoever, and she's an illegal immigrant.
Yes, because she overstayed her visa. And then basically, I'm
Okay.
assuming, obviously, like what happens is like, sure, she overstayed her visa, but the government cannot go through all the documents of who overstayed their visa, and then they don't know their addresses, they don't know when they
Yeah,
ended up and
yeah.
stuff like that. So technically, right now, she is under the radar. So he's asking whether by marrying her and then putting that legal document forward, which is the marriage certificate, is that bringing attention to the fact that she overstayed her visa?
It
'Cause
definitely
also-
could, by the way, but
Yeah.
even if they are not gonna look at her visa status, if they were to get married, that takes a long time anyway. So by the process of like time itself, they are bound to find out. And
Yeah.
even if it doesn't happen like now, even if it takes 3 years, people are very petty, by the way, sometimes. So even if they say like, oh, 5 years ago you overstayed by 2 weeks, you have to now suffer the repercussions.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like a matter of time before they catch on to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why she didn't like renew her visa or, try to extend it.
I mean, to be fair, I think that it depends. Maybe she met them after basically when the visa was overstayed. But I'm pretty sure, like, also in a way, doesn't marrying him help her case out because she should be
Yeah,
on the
but
green card route. I mean, it
true,
says
yeah,
here
but it
there's
is
a
a
lawyer.
risk if like how long has she overstayed? Because
Yeah,
if
he
it's
doesn't
a
specify.
significant amount of time, him marrying her, obviously they need legal documents. They're bound to find out that she is here like without a legal document that
But
allows
she
her to
has
stay.
a legal document. She doesn't have a visa though.
Yeah,
She
but
still,
she
can
can't
still marry.
stay visa free in the country, can she?
Do you need? She can't. But at the same time, if she marries him,
Yeah.
and then she starts applying for the green card, and then therefore the passport because she's marrying
No,
an
but
American citizen.
currently she's not meant to stay without an active valid visa, no?
Yeah. So.
So if she was to apply for, if they were to get married together, the documents would show that she is currently she's like visa free. She's meant to have a visa. Why is she
It
still
would
in the
show.
country?
It would show that she overstayed it. But I
Yeah.
think because she's marrying him.
Do you think they would refuse it? Because that's what I'm
I
thinking.
don't think so because he's an American. That's different. It's always different when there's.
I don't know how the legalities are in the U.S., but
Yeah. It says
I
here
feel
there's a
like-
lawyer who responded and he said a U.S. citizen spouse who marries an overstay visitor is still considered to be in the immediate relative category for which the highest immigration privileges are afforded.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So she's in good hands.
She's in gonna. It's like yeah, like
Good.
ideally speaking, please don't overstay your visa. But I think when it comes down to it, it's completely different. Like when it comes to, like that's why a lot of people they get into relationships, for example, because they want the passport through marriage. It's
Yeah.
because realistically speaking, the most straightforward way to get a passport is to get married.
Yeah, and it takes I think less time compared to other
In
routes. Yeah.
some countries, it takes up to a year. Like, what other way can you get a passport of a country in 1 year time? Like, even if you were born in that country, sometimes it takes longer than that to get
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
citizenship. So, and then you have to like prove much more things. But once you get married, the only thing you have to do is the validity of that marriage, and even then. It sounds like we're basically convincing people to go and get married and get passports. But like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like marriage is the easiest, most privileged way to get a passport, realistically speaking.
A lot of people do that.
A lot
I
of
think
people
even,
lie to each other to
90
do-
Days Fiance. You know the show 90 Day Fiance.
Yes.
Yeah, like the fact that like you see a lot of like young men with like old women and like vice versa, and it's so telling that they're just here for like a green card or
You know who's like a famous person who everyone thought that the man was marrying the woman because of the passport is Trisha Paytas and Moses. So everyone, I'm not entirely sure what nationality he is. If I have to guess, it's probably Israeli. Like he has an Israeli
Okay,
passport,
yeah.
and he basically is. Everyone, when he first got into a relationship with Trisha, was saying that, oh, he's only with her because he
Of the
wants
passport.
the green card and the passport because he's not a U.S. national.
Okay.
And then and then everyone was like, oh, he's gonna get the passport and he's gonna leave and whatever. And then now I mean, to be fair, like they've been going strong for 3 years, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe that was his intentions in the beginning.
Maybe.
A lot of the times, what happens is
And then he ended up falling in love.
Yeah, exactly. What's
Yeah.
so crazy is like most of the time, that's what happens. Is like initially the person like they want to lie to the other person and then get married to them, and then they will be like, oh, at the back of their head, the reason why they're like getting married to this person is because they want the passport and that's the fastest way. And then they always say like, oh, in a year's time, I'll just get divorced, and they can never take this decision
Yeah,
for him just
yeah.
because they got divorced. But but then they end up falling in love because of like close proximity, because most countries they require that you live in the same household.
Yes, yeah.
And most countries as well, they need a proof of like, you know, like intimate pictures, wedding pictures, or even like, even if you guys didn't have a wedding per se, they need intimate proof that you guys are actually genuinely. And the thing is, like, they're not going to check for every single person, but sometimes it's randomized. And yeah, and then they end up falling in love with each other. And the person who has done this under hidden disguise, because most of the time it's not a mutual agreement. Most of the time it's like the other party, the person who does not have the passport, taking advantage of the person who has the passport.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's the fastest way, and then they end up falling in love. So we would never be able to know if like actually Moses actually fell in love with Trisha Paytas after, or his intentions were always pure.
Or even if he's still in love with her, maybe he needs something else. I don't know. Maybe publicity. I don't know.
maybe she. I mean, she is. If I'm not mistaken, she is the breadwinner in that relationship as well.
Yeah.
So maybe it's
Trisha's
like a combination of
Trisha.
and
I didn't know his name is Moses though. I don't really follow them like that, but like I just know Trisha. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I've watched a couple of her podcast episodes, and honestly, she did a rebrand. And I think a lot of podcast people who, how do I say this, that have been in controversies, that they didn't do so great, so hot, you know, have said some questionable things, have been trying to do what Trisha Paytas did. Because Trisha Paytas was one of those people who would, every single time she sits on her kitchen floor, she would throw a bomb of like just, you know, like something outrageous. But now she's like, she has done 180 and then she switched. Now she's a mother. And don't get me wrong, the woman still gets hate from all sides. And don't get me wrong as well, she is a flawed human being. Like, who isn't? But she has gotten so much better to the point that everyone wants to get whatever she is doing, because she was this unstable person who everyone used to hate watch. Now she has actual genuine fans. And for example, even like, what's her name? Tana Mojo. Also.
Oh yeah, cancelled.
Yes. And also Tana Monjo, a lot of people are saying that she is getting a bit of, not obsessed with Trisha Paytas, but obsessed with the progress that Trisha Paytas has done. Because also Tana Monjo was also one of the kind of people that would sit on that floor. It's always, you know, if there's an episode or any YouTube video that starts with you being on the floor, no, it's going down. No, it's going down.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like, I mean, I don't think I've watched like a full-on episode of her podcast, Trisha. But I do see like a lot of clips on TikTok, and they're very entertaining. They're very funny as well.
She gets a lot of hate as well, by the way, because obviously her husband is an immigrant. She gets a lot of hate, and obviously
reality.
Yeah, her and what's so crazy is like, yeah, like her husband is basically an immigrant. Like, and the thing is, like, what's so crazy is like everyone used to hate Trisha Paytas, like to the point of like no one understood why she was.
She was very controversial in the past.
She was. And the thing is, like, she is still kind of is in a way because of that. But the thing is, like, everyone used to hate her. So for now, all of a sudden, because she's married to an immigrant, all of a sudden, it's. Now we're hating on him. It's like we love her and we want her. Why did you take her away from us? And I'm like, you guys are not making sense. You guys hated her 2 years ago.
The irony.
And now you guys are mad that she's been taken by an immigrant. Like, what does that, like, you know what I mean? And like a lot of people like obviously make fun of his accent. By the way, he doesn't have that much of an accent. I mean, he just doesn't sound as
American.
I don't know where Trisha Paytas is from, but like she sounds very like whatever that is. She's not. He's just.
Did she not say one time that she was like mixed with something? I can't remember.
That woman is not mixed with anything. That woman is pure. I don't know.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
she is. Maybe she is. But I just personally don't see it, honestly.
But yeah, that's.
And recently she got a lot of hate because of Aquaman calling her baby Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why? Like, is that actually true? Like, she's gonna name it Aquaman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do we know the gender of the child?
Boy.
Oh. Okay.
She has 2 girls and 1 boy. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Trisha. I mean, do you, I guess, but yeah.
But to be fair, Trisha has to do it. Like, Trisha has to name those names. Because who else would?
But out of all the outrageous names, Aquaman?
I mean, have you seen Aquaman?
But also, I feel bad for the child. Like a lot of these
Maybe
names,
in their
these
generation
weird
is gonna
names,
be.
like I don't know. It's so odd. Like
But in their generation, it might be so normal. Like Northwest,
maybe.
like and like what's the
Wolf
culture, wolf
Yeah.
culture, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was so outrageous. But now everyone is naming those names. Everyone is obsessed with being unique,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
everyone wants to be oppressed.
Yeah.
Can we start with that?
People have that obsession as well.
Yeah,
That's
everyone
very
wants to
true.
be poor because you saying that you came from a poor background is so much more impressive. Everyone wants to
Yeah.
say that they basically their come up story is like them coming up from the streets when they have never seen the streets.
They were billionaires.
You know, it's like literally like a lot of people are like nowadays, people are obsessed with struggle because
Yeah.
it gives you spice. It gives you what is it called? It gives you, how do I say this? Like it gives you an
I hope the
accent.
angle is okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
It gives you an accent, and everyone is obsessed with being unique, and everyone is obsessed with standing out to the point that people right now are like, not to point out anything, but like, for example, now being just ethnic is not cool enough. For example, being from the same, like, for example, for me, I'm biologically, my mom and my dad are Syrian. But now people are going a step further where they have to tell us their ancestry. Like to the point
Yeah.
that like, oh yeah, my mom and my dad are Syrian, and then but my mama's dad is half Turkish, and then my mom's mom is, and I'm like, is it that deep ever? But sometimes it's just like, even now being ethnic is not enough, and obviously being white is not enough, right? Like, because they're probably like, what's the most hated ethnicity is like white, probably, like in a way that like no one wants to be just white. That's not fun anymore. That's not
You need
trendy
to have
anymore.
some spice to you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I did my ancestry and it says I'm 1% black, and she's white, like white. You
It
know?
is. I will say, like, it is an interesting thing to look at. Like, I also want to do. We should do an ancestry thing one
I
time.
don't want to give
but
my
I'm-
DNA to nobody.
But I am scared of like how they store our
Imagine
information.
if it turns out you're not
but-
Sudanese. You're Somali.
Imagine.
I'm with that they were right
Guys,
all along.
there are some horror stories where people find out that their parents aren't actually their parents.
Yeah, but I'm
Like,
sorry. Like, have you
that's-
seen you and your dad? Like, that's the same as like putting me and my dad, or like me and my mom be like, oh yeah, you guys are not related. Like, I think we don't.
Listen, cosmetic surgery is
and who did the
it's
cosmetic
everywhere.
surgery? Us or our parents?
everywhere. Okay, but
Yeah, honestly, if you
Yeah,
see our
no.
if you see our parents, you understand that we don't need a DNA test. Now, whether our parents are also confused and they think that they're Syrians and Sudanese and
Yeah.
they're not, that's a discussion to be had. But yeah,
No,
no,
for
but
sure.
she's her dad's daughter.
Yeah.
That's not debatable.
like I really wanted to do the ancestry test, but honestly, I'm terrified of how they store your information and like what they use it for. So.
I mean, to be
But-
fair, I'm kind of a bit more comfortable. Like, if it was my grandkids, then I would be like, no, don't give them your DNA. They might clone you down the line, because I actually
Yeah.
believe that down the line we might be able to clone people. But now I don't think we have technology for it.
Yeah, but even then, it's like so many other things, not just cloning. Like I feel like it's terrifying. But I mean, if we do our proper research and like we actually like see that, okay, this is what's happening and maybe down the line, if we're successful,
What
we
if?
can
What
do
if?
it.
Turns out we have hidden siblings.
That is the most terrifying. Guys, when I was a like early teen, I like my biggest fear was the fact that I had a long lost twin identical to me and we just didn't know about each other's existence. Like I don't miss if someone walked in right now. They knocked on this door and then they come in and they're like, Mace, and they look exactly, it's giving like Us, the movie Us. They look at you and they're like, Mace, oh my God, I finally found you. What would you do? Right now, let's say right now, I'm not here.
Yeah.
Let's say you're just chilling, lounging in bed.
Close the
You
door.
get a knock. No way.
But I'm gonna invite them in.
Yeah.
They're strangers.
They look exactly like they're literally telling you, they're like,
Cosmetic
Mace,
surgery.
I finally found my long lost twin. Oh my God, I miss you so much.
How can you miss me? You don't know me.
True,
How can
yeah.
you miss me? Miss
No,
me with
okay.
that bull.
Okay, no, like I don't know, like they're like, oh my God, I finally found you.
I'll be honest. I'll just shut the door because I have to process it, and I cannot be looking at myself while processing it. Like do you
That's
actually?
terrifying?
um,
Okay, how about this? Let's say she tells you, like, you close the door and she's like, by the way, there's more. Your parents are not your parents.
I wouldn't believe it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You wouldn't believe that you have a long lost twin either. But there she is standing.
I'll think it's a camera خفية, like it's a prank or something.
A prank? She looks exactly like you. Literally, same hair, same everything.
I'm not gonna invite her in. We can go and have a coffee outside.
Oh, so you are willing to meet with her?
I mean, I'll just see what's this phenomenon about.
How are you gonna do that? You close the door in her face.
Yeah, I need to process. I need time to adjust.
Yeah, but how are you gonna have coffee?
Like, I'll open it later on. Let me give me a second to process things. You know, I'm not gonna close it forever. I'm just gonna be like, okay, like, just make sure that my eyes are working. Maybe wash my face. You know,
From the peephole.
Maybe get my phone so I can take a picture and send it to other people, so they can confirm that I'm not seeing things, I'm not hallucinating, like something. But yeah, like, obviously the beginning, that's like when it comes to like anything, the 5 stages of grief, right? Like denial. That's the first step. I'll probably deny it. I'll be like, no, there must be like a geographical error. There must be like I don't know.
But she looks exactly like you. It's terrifying.
Even twins don't look exactly like each other.
No, she's identical to you because that exists.
That's not gonna happen to us.
Macy's such a realist. Like, honestly, just live in the fantasy world for a second.
But can I be honest? Like, you're not asking me, what are you gonna do if you get $1 million? You're asking me if my twin shows up. Like,
both
how
of those are unrealistic. Let's be honest.
I'd like to believe the $1 million is a bit more realistic than that.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, so I don't know about the legalities of, like, you know, marriage around the U.S. and everything, but if the lawyer said like, oh, she's able to do that, go for it 100%.
I think definitely ask for.
But
a lawyer.
in the UK, I feel like they're a bit petty. I'm not gonna lie, they might go like
true.
but
then her spouse is British, and that's different. Like, it's always like, it always gives you a bit more.
True, yeah. Leeway.
When your spouse is British, or even when you have a kid who's technically British, like, it always gives you a leeway.
Yeah.
Not to say that they make it any less easier, because you being married to a white man or you being married to a British man does not make you any less ethnic. So, not to say anything, but at the same time, it's like, if we're going to talk about all the visible routes, you're probably in the safest hands. But definitely, always, if you're ever in doubt, ask a lawyer. And maybe not on Reddit, and genuine lawyer. Because for all we care, it could be that this lawyer is just, he hates immigrants and he wants her to get married so ICE can come and get her. You never know. But yeah, like, do your research, get a lawyer, and immigration lawyer who is a good immigration lawyer. And what's your story? What's your next story?
So I have one. It's also related to like immigrant spouses. Divorce from immigrant wife. I want to divorce my wife from the UK. I'll explain why. But how will immigration affect it? My wife and I have been married for 6 years. We have 2 kids together. She was granted a 2-year conditional green card in 2020 and never filed for the 10-year. So I think green card, they're basically saying it universally because it's more common to say
probably
green card.
I think they're referring to definite leave to remain, which is time restricted, so it has an expiry date. And the 10-year one that he's referring to is the indefinite leave to remain, which basically is indefinite. So it
limitless.
Exactly.
She's lazy, doesn't contribute to the household at all, drains my time, drains our money. Oh my God. And only thinks of herself. For our daughter's 3rd birthday, she used the last of her money for weed instead of cake or presents. She's a chronic liar, making fake Facebook accounts of people. She started talking to some guy in China once and made a fake email parenting to be my dad and emailing herself with fake arguments to send to him. She lost custody of both her boys in Britain for neglect and tried to tell the Chinese guy they died. Oh my God. Damn. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even read this myself.
We just read the title, for being honest.
Yeah,
that's insane.
She had multiple affairs. She has borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder. Most of this I didn't find out until after we were married. If I file for divorce and leave the house, she cannot legally work and cannot afford a place of her own. She violated her 2-year conditional by not refiling in time. She's now 3 years overdue. Oh my God. How is she still in the country? And entering the marriage in bad faith. Does she still have a right to be here because of our kids?
I mean, the kids are British.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, legally speaking, she could claim that, like, obviously through the kids,
Yeah.
because if, I mean, I don't know who would
I don't
give
know
her
if
custody.
the kids are.
What-
She lost custody, he said, didn't he?
I'm thinking, I think he's referring to the two boys from another person that she lost custody of. But what about their shared child?
No, but well, maybe I didn't register it properly. I think all her kids are from him, no?
She can't, if she's losing custody, she can't be losing custody of half of her kids if she share the same
lost,
dad.
She lost custody of both of her boys in Britain for
Yeah, so
neglect.
her boys, so they're not the boys of not his boys.
Okay.
Because he would have said she lost the custody of our
No, but
boys.
he said because of our kids.
What do
So
you mean?
technically speaking.
Yeah, because they
it's
share a
his.
child. They share a child.
No, but he said our kids.
Maybe they have more.
Yeah. So I think it's them.
I mean, if it's them, then
The kids are fine, but I don't think she is.
No, the kids are fine.
Because she lost custody.
What I'm worried about is like, okay, no, he's rightfully, he had, after all of, if it's true, which we don't know because we haven't read that, we don't know the other perspective, but if it's true, then he is kind of in his right to leave the marriage and the household. My question is, why is he leaving the kids with her?
No, but she lost her custody.
No, but he's leaving by himself though.
Huh?
He's leaving the house by himself.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He never said, I'm taking the kids with me.
But he didn't say he's leaving them either. Because
No,
she
but-
lost custody of the kids. So that means the custody falls on him
But
as the
that-
father of the child.
Not
of the children.
necessarily. It could be to the government. If the
He
father
didn't say that, so it's
if the
it's fu-
father is unfit, the
He didn't
government
say-
takes custody.
He didn't say that though.
But he didn't say that he
So-
took the kids and he left. He said, I left the house. Where are the kids?
Let me read it
Look-
again.
Look,
So technically speaking, he didn't leave the house yet. But what he's questioning is if he files for divorce, does this mean like how is this going to affect her immigration wise? Because she can't legally work. She probably won't have a roof over her head. How is
go on
that?
benefit, should get council housing.
But he said the conditional term. She's like 2 years overdue. So
Yeah.
like she hasn't filed it in time. So how is
But she will get it with her kids.
maybe.
Her kids are
But she
underage
lost
and they're British.
custody. Maybe
It's
she
not.
didn't lose custody of the daughter.
But that's what I'm saying.
Maybe the two boys in Britain, but
Yeah.
not the daughter. So if she uses the daughter, then
But that's what I'm
she
saying.
can stay.
If that means the sons and the daughter are from different fathers.
maybe.
And then for me, my only issue is like he better not be leaving without his daughter if she's actually as bad as he's describing, because he would be equally worse than her
Yeah.
if he is like if he left his daughter
Yeah.
under her custody. With that being said, if it's true and she has like I'm assuming 3 British kids, she does have a case in saying that she needs to stay for her kids, especially her kids are underage, even if she lost custody, because technically speaking, she lost custody, she can fight back for them. Technically, if she gets like sober, if she gets her life back on track, it could always be argued that
But she could also easily be deported if she doesn't have custody to any of the kids, right? So let's say leave the daughter
Custody-
aside. Leave the daughter aside. If she doesn't have custody at all, she's legally not binded to the kids anymore.
legally not binded, but
Yeah,
you know,
so
even
legally
if you don't
speaking,
have
she doesn't
custody,
have
you
a
still have
reason.
visits. You get to
Legal-
see visits.
Yeah, she could, but she can't stay permanently in the UK.
But she has British kids. That's a completely different conversation. Who are underage.
I don't know how it works, guys.
If
We're not lawyers, so
no, we're not lawyers, of course. I'm just saying, like, I think what's the what's, and I might give her grace, is the fact that her kids are underage and they're British. Second thing is, yes, she doesn't have custody of them, even if she didn't have custody of the daughter as well. But custody, it's not a set in stone thing. She could gain custody of them again.
Yeah, but until she does, there's nothing tying her to the country, legally speaking.
They wouldn't deport her though.
I don't know. We don't know.
They would because she has connections to to Britain. That's different. She has kids here, and then also I don't think they would deport her. But yeah, like for sure,
Because
she needs to pattern up.
She was meant to file paperwork, right? And she hasn't filed it.
Yeah, but
so these paperworks are legally binding to her stay in the UK. So if she hasn't done that and she was years late, like this man is saying, I don't know. Like how I'm not sure, guys. We're not legal. You know, we're not legal representatives or something. So
this is not legal advice at all. But I think like yeah, for sure, she definitely should pattern up. But with that being said, I think she still has a case to present on, like if she patterns up, she would be probably able to get indefinite leave to remain based on the fact that she has 3 British kids and all of them are underage, and she could always argue that no matter what, they will need a mom in their life, and even if she does not have custody of them, she is still entitled to visits if she patterns up as well. So yeah, because then they're gonna be in the foster system, or like I don't know if the fathers would take them, but either way she does have the right to see them. So I think that's what give her a bit of grace. But honestly, like we don't know. Ask your lawyer. But it's always fascinating to see how people, they get married and then the person turns out to be completely different for whatever reason they were like acting in the beginning, whether it's for a passport or for whatever. But yeah,
even if you get married to someone, even 10 years down the line, you'd never know who they truly are.
Yeah.
That's so scary to me.
There's a lot of people who get married for 20 years and then they realize like one thing, and then something comes up and then they realize, well, you know, that was a lie or whatever. Or like as simple as like after 20 years, they don't want to stay together anymore. Like how scary is that?
That's terrifying. That's scary.
You know how many 20 years is a long time.
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
So let's say, so this is a hypothetical one. Let's say you're that guy in this story.
Yeah.
But the only way your husband, so obviously you're thinking of divorcing him, but the only way, so let's say he has PDD or whatever, you know, personality disorders and stuff. And obviously he's not mentally okay.
Yeah.
And his country back home, he has no one.
Yeah.
You guys share a daughter.
Yeah.
If you divorce him, he loses the house, he loses his job, he loses custody of the daughter, he gets deported. The only way he can stay and get the help he needs is if you guys stay married. Are you staying married?
Okay, first of all, 2 things in my head. Initially, yes, because he will ever be my daughter's father.
Okay.
That's not changing.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, it's like when it comes to mental health, yes, there is like a lot of things and like this, but at the same time, no one can help you if you don't want to be helped. So yes, I would not divorce him per se. I would, even if the financial situation allows it, I'll give him the house. He can stay at the house, but I'm leaving and I'm like sort of like financing my own. I'll take my daughter out of the situation.
Yeah.
But it's her father, and he would have the rights of visitation and everything like that. If the only thing that is allowing him in this country is this certificate of us being married, then we'll be separated, but I'll still be legally married to him. But with that being said, I would definitely be saying like, you know, I can't be waiting for him for the rest of my life, you know, especially if we only have one daughter. I'm assuming that we're still young. I'm still young.
Yeah.
So I might want to basically, even if it's just not for myself, like I want to find someone else who like obviously like loves me and stuff like that, but also hypothetically speaking, my daughter needs a father figure who's present.
Okay, let's say it's been a year and a half, and during this year and a half, obviously you felt single for even before that. Like let's say you've felt single for 5 years, even though you're still married with your current husband. And let's say a year and a half passed, you moved out of the house and everything, visitations every weekend with the daughter, and in that span of a year and a half, you met this amazing guy, everything, you're so ready for this next chapter in your life. He wants to propose to you. Legally speaking, in the UK, you can't have more than one spouse.
Yeah.
How are you going to navigate that?
Not just in the UK, anywhere in the world, you're not allowed to have one spouse. But as a woman, you're not allowed.
Yeah. True, yeah.
If it's been a year and a half, I honestly, it depends on how much progress he's done so far. Because as a woman in the
Okay, he made some progress there. I'm trying to toughen up the situation to see how far it goes.
he made some progress.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do have an advantage though. Like my new husband, what I can do is I can marry him in Islam and not register it legally. So I would have in the eyes of the law, I would have a boyfriend and a husband. I'm separated from my husband, but I'm living with my boyfriend. But technically in Islam law. But I don't think in Islam you're allowed to do that because I'm legally still
I don't
married
think
to the
so
old,
either.
to the old one.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it depends, honestly, how much progress he's done. If it was a lot of progress and he just needs a bit more time, then yeah, my daughter comes first. And
Your
therefore the
husband is
father,
like, your husband is, not your husband, sorry, your current, like, man is like, why are we waiting for him? Like, this was ages ago. You're still, do you
Yeah,
still,
but that's
like
different.
him?
It's
Like,
not-
what's happening, you know?
well, that's fine. If he feels frustrated at the situation, that's
What
understandable.
if he offers to gain custody of the daughter?
That is not going to change the fact that her biological daughter is that mother. What am I supposed to do? You know, bad choices. I made a bad choice, but what can I do? I have to suffer the consequences now. It is my responsibility. As I'm not a, when I'm a mother,
What if
I'm a
he
mother
left you?
first.
Guys, I'm just throwing in.
Yeah, I'm a mother first. If I'm a mother, I'm a mother first. So even if I have to break up and go through a heartbreak through that, I'm a mother first.
You would do that.
I'm a mother first.
Wow, just for him to stay in the UK. Your
For
current
my
husband.
daughter, not for him. If he's doing progress and he's becoming a good father for her and she loves him, and obviously, especially if she.
I personally would divorce him. Like,
Yeah, but
obviously
it's
I
not
would
about-
give him
it's
I would
not
give him
about him.
time. Obviously I would give him time. But after a year and a half, let's say, and it's like very minute progress has happened, I would divorce him. Like, he needs to find other avenues to stay in the UK, whether it be a student visa, whether it be whatever it is. Like, that's it. That's the only capacity I can have. People have parents who travel and don't see their children for years. Like, I'm at least my daughter has me. You know, that's how I'm gonna see it, I think. But yeah,
also-
that's like me, like, you know, ruining a potential relationship just so that he can stay and see the
First
daughter.
of all,
I
that
don't
potential
know.
relationship, you've already proven that your track record is not great at choosing men. So you have to be extra careful choosing that second one. Anyways, you know,
But it's been a year
if
and
your
a
track record is that woman who like. Listen, not the mental health aspect. Oh, she spends her money for the birthday kids on like weed and whatever. If that's your track record, maybe you should be sitting with yourself
but
for
this
a
is-
bit more than a year and a half to reflect on the choices you've made. And why the hell are you having a kid with someone who put you through all of that? So as a matter of fact, honestly, that relationship is not a loss because you need to reflect. You need to be sitting with
Okay,
yourself
but this
a little
guy,
bit.
this gentleman right here, he said he didn't know a lot of these things. Like, he didn't know about
Why are you
her
marrying someone that
mental
you don't know
issues
stuff
until
about
after.
them?
But that's the thing about marriage. Marriage is a risk. You don't know these people until you actually
and when
do.
you take
end
the
up-
risk, for example, if you're investing, you put the investment into like a certain stock, right? It flops. Are you not gonna go and study harder, or are you gonna just invest in the next thing coming up? That's dumb, isn't it? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
No, but let's say that
getting
man-
into a
let's say that
relationship
man
after
that-
a year and a half,
Yeah.
that's a dumb choice. You haven't. It's been only a year and a half. Not only has your husband has not had enough time to do progress, you and your daughter did not have enough time
But
to
my
heal.
daughter started school like a year
But
and
she
a half.
mentally has not had enough time to heal from
Yeah.
losing her father, from witnessing a divorce, and you have not had enough time to learn how to become a single mother.
I mean, I've been a single mother anyway. He wasn't there. He was buying weed.
Yeah, I mean, true.
So,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it's like the fact that like
It's no difference
a year
to
and
the daughter.
a year and a half is not enough to adjust for you to have found someone in
Yeah.
that period of time. For you to be like,
Let's
oh,
say
I want to
it's a-
marry
okay.
him. Learn.
Okay, let's say it's a work colleague. You guys have been working for 6 years straight. He is a businessman on the side as well, entrepreneur. His family is his family is very great. You know, he's a very well behaved person. Like, you know, and you guys just
As I said, it's not about him though. It's about
True,
your
yeah,
choices and
true.
you, right? Like it's about you. Like if
I don't
do-
think a year and a half is enough self reflection.
No, it's not. You have to
live.
live from mistake. Yes, sure, your husband did not tell you a lot of things, and I'm not faulting him for not knowing. But are you not going to reflect a little bit and be like, how did I end up in a marriage like this? And why did I not see the signs? And why did you guys had a child together before you solidified and you knew this person very well?
Yeah, and he has two other.
Why people love to
other
have
kids.
kids the moment they get married, and I'm like, wait.
I think because kids kind of trap the person, so it's like, you know. But yeah, interesting.
Reflect.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when I get it, like in that situation, he is in a way the person at a disadvantage. He is the victim, right? But a lot of people use that and they run with it and they love to be the victim. They're like, just because you're the victim, you should be reflecting. What made you vulnerable enough for you to become the victim of that person? For example, you're saying that she didn't, something about like her not fulfilling her something, like she entered the marriage not with good faith, right? So we should reflect and see,
Maybe question that.
exactly,
Yeah,
see
yeah.
where were your skills of interpreting certain behavior that she was doing, catching up on her acting. Like, you know, if she was that good of an actress, we would have heard her. She would have been an actress by now, right? Like, you have to learn how to read people. You have to learn how to spend enough time with people intentionally so you can actually learn about them, learn who they are. You can't keep on like blaming everybody else. Like, everything that happens, there's definitely a person who has the majority of the fault, but it's never faultless. You're never faultless. So you actually have to reflect on the fact that, like, what made me fall into this trap? What made me end up with this person? And yeah, maybe a lot of the time there's things that could not have been avoided, but you have to learn. You have to learn. A year and a half, you can't do it. Nothing. Even A levels you can't do in a year and a half. GCSEs and A levels are a 2-year degree.
I think he still cares about her as well, because you can tell like he's still questioning whether he should, you know, file a divorce, and if he does, how is that going to affect her migration status? So
She
I
is
think
the mother
I think
of
he
his-
does.
of his
Yeah,
daughter
I
as
think
well.
he still has that kind of, you know, he's
Which is
battling
fair
with
enough.
himself
Which is
a
fair
lot,
enough. I
but-
would do the same thing because
Yeah.
it's not. Obviously, if he went through all of that with her, that means that he probably like lost a lot of things,
Yeah, and he
feelings towards
tolerated
her.
her a lot as well. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, you know, he was like, she's lazy and she's I don't know.
Yeah.
Those words are
I
strong,
think,
but yeah.
but I think she will. That's the thing about people. When you get married to someone, you decide to have a kid with them. Remember, they could be your exes. They could be. You can hate them. You can love them. They could be your friends. They could be. You guys could be cordial, but they will forever and forever be the father, the
True.
mother of your kids. So
That's the
choose
thing
wisely.
that's the thing with like having a partner. Once you have kids with them, they will forever be in your life.
Yes.
No matter what happens, they will
Yeah.
forever be in your life.
Yeah.
But you know, if you don't, then you can divorce that person. You can forget about them.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, they cannot be tied to you whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if you have kids, it just makes things so much harder.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And even if they are not present in the child's life, as simple as your child's eyes are gonna look like his, your child mannerisms are gonna
Oh my god!
become
Imagine
like
being
his.
reminded of your ex
Exactly.
every single
And then
time you
even
look
if
at your
the
child.
father is not in his life, is his grandma not gonna be? Is his grandpa not gonna be? Are his aunts and
Wow.
uncle not gonna be? Are they not gonna want to be? And even if they don't want to be, and you're completely disattached from his family, what about his medical history? Are you then eventually not gonna, if your son gets sick, but you don't know what medical history his father had, you only know yours, and now you're in a predicament like, oh, something is wrong with your son, and you don't know what to do. Or for example, like a lot of the time, when certain people, like if you are a carrier of a certain illness, you should not be married to someone who is also a carrier of that illness, because that increases the chance of the kids being affected with that illness. For example, like let's say thalassemia,
But
right?
wouldn't you know that, like, hypothetically speaking, wouldn't you know that, like, beforehand? Because, for example, I'm just speaking for myself now. Like, for example, if I do get married, I want, like, to do all the health checkups together, see what matches, see what doesn't, you know, do everything. Like, I think you're gonna do that as well, no? Like,
Yeah, I mean, can I be honest? Like, if I
Yeah.
didn't have what I had, and I had to make sure that the person I'm marrying doesn't have it, honestly, probably I would have not been very, like, yes,
Yeah.
sexually transmitted diseases, very, like, basic panel stuff and stuff like that. But the ones that I'm talking about, those are genetic testing. That's expensive and it takes a lot of time. Not everyone can
Yeah.
afford that.
True,
So
yeah, true.
you have to be
It
aware
does
of his medical
depend,
history.
Yeah, it does depend on
Like,
the
yeah,
couple.
like,
Yeah.
for me personally, because since I was young, I was diagnosed with being a carrier of thalassemia. So I have to be always careful. My mom, from a young age, has always told me, you cannot marry someone who has thalassemia. It's not like I can't, but my kids are going to have such a high chance of being affected by it. I'm a carrier and I still have the symptoms. Imagine being affected by it. There can be like actual like proper, like it could be like I could not carry to term. I could basically the baby could die young. It's a very serious blood disease.
Yeah.
So for me, I grew up knowing that I'm gonna have to get those tests. Most people, if they grow up healthy with no symptoms, like for example, another person who has thalassemia who is just also a carrier but is asymptomatic,
Yeah.
why would they ever spend thousands and thousands on genetic testing before they get married? HIV and like blood tests and like very, very, very like
Simple.
yeah,
Like,
STI examinations. Those are very easy. Those could be done free in the UK, right? But like those extra genetic testing that takes months, by the way, for those genetics to come, the genetic testings to come back. So most people don't have to do it, and not only that, most people can't afford to do it, and rightfully so. Why would you be spending thousands and thousands if you didn't have anything? You know, if you didn't have to be sure of it.
No, of course. No, for sure, 100%. That's why I think, yeah, I mean, it does depend on the couple for sure, and like, you know, what your affordability is, and whether or not you even want to have kids, you know. So yeah, 100%. I think it is a very gray area. What if like you, obviously you want kids.
Hopefully.
What if you did meet a great guy, you guys are looking to get married and everything, but let's say, I don't know, on your wedding day he just jokingly says like, oh, I have thalassemia or something like that, and then you come to find that actually he does have that.
We're not having kids.
So you're still getting married and everything, right?
Well, if he said it on the marriage day, that, I mean, what options do I have? Honestly, if he said it and he actually didn't have thalassemia,
no, and he does,
and he does, we're getting a divorce, because that was a massive breach of trust. It's not because he has thalassemia. It's not because he has thalassemia, because honestly, we could just adopt. I'm so for the idea of adoption, but
what if he finds out now?
If he finds out now, we'll see how we navigate it, because it's not only about me. Like, for example, I want children. I'm assuming if I was getting married to him, that means he also wanted children. He could have children with someone else who is not a carrier. I could have children with someone else who's not a carrier. So technically, it's mutually beneficial for us to separate. Now, obviously, there's love into it, but if he knew and he didn't tell me until we got married, I'm breaking that divorce just for the pure reason of the fact that
your family literally traveled all the way.
I don't care. My husband is a lying piece of I don't care.
Would you not put up the front for the wedding until everyone leaves?
I would, as a matter of fact, I would annul the marriage. Okay, so my question is, what if you basically get married to someone? I know that you're not for or against the idea of kids. You know, you don't.
Yeah, if they happen, they happen. Yeah.
So are we not taking contraceptives?
I'll tell you the thing about kids, right? So the thing is, with kids, like if I was to have kids right now, they will suffer. And it's not because like I'm a horrible person, but it's just because I physically cannot take care of someone. Like there's just so much going on in my life that I don't think I would be able to take care of a child. And if I'm in a position, like let's say I get married, I'm in a position where we're both financially stable, we both have our life together, we both like, you know, like everything is good and it's Gucci and it's like it makes sense to bring a child into this world, then I would consider it. But I don't think I would just do it without thinking of like the future.
That's a responsible thing, but then also is like, you know, there's not gonna ever be a perfect time to have a child. There's always gonna be something. You can try, but you're not gonna reach that perfection time. What's the perfect time?
I'm not saying I'm going to be the perfect parent, but what I will say is like I want to have a good situation where I'm having a stable income. I have a sustainable future ahead of me in terms of like income, job, housing. Like right now, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't know if I'm even going to be here in the next 2-3 years in this country. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a stable enough position for me to go like, yeah, I can bring a child in this world, you know? I need to make sure that my lifestyle is solid enough to the point where I'm like, okay, if this happens, I have this backup. If that happens, I have this backup. So far, I don't have any backups. And even the plan that I'm in right now is not even good enough to bring up a child in, if that makes sense. So I don't think, I feel like when you're ready, you're ready. And
But
I feel like,
how can you tell him that? Because you know, like when you're getting into a marriage, you have to discuss the child's situation.
course,
So
yeah.
that means you're gonna tell him, well, when we are ready,
yeah,
I'm okay with a child, right?
Yeah.
But you're going into that marriage saying that potentially down the line, eventually you're promising him a child.
I'm
But
not
what if-
promising it. I'm not promising it.
No, because you said you're okay with a child.
I'm okay with it, given the circumstances are
But you know,
very good, adequate.
Your definition of what's a good circumstance to raise a child might differ from his.
But that's why we're going to have that conversation. If that does not align with him and that's too big of a red flag or too much of a breach, then he's not the person for me.
And then he could be he can agree with you. 10 years passes, you guys are doing okay, but not good enough for what your definition of raising a child is, right?
Yeah.
And then it's been 10 years, you guys have been together for 10 years, and now you guys don't have a child yet. And technically speaking, biologically speaking, for women, us, tick tock, we don't have that
No,
much
of course,
and
of course.
especially considering the fact that we're not getting married before the age of 30.
Of
You know, like
course.
we're pushing
Of course.
30 now.
I think it's the point that like it's the point or the idea that he needs to be just like how I'm pushing the idea that okay, I may have a child, but I could also not have a child. If he's okay with that, that means that he's okay with potentially not having children, period, in the future. Right? Because that's the discussion.
But most people are
But
not going to run with that
I am
potential
not-
because it's 50-50 you're here right now.
No, but then he's taking a chance, and then he has to uphold his decisions. He's a grown man, right? He would
Yeah.
know what he's getting himself into.
True.
If he wants kids, if he wants to get married for the sole purpose of having kids, he needs to be with someone who wants to have kids as soon as they get married. I'm not that person.
No, but it's not
know?
about him because from the dilemma that you're giving right now
Yeah.
is the fact that like the kids is not a no, but it's very circumstantial, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, circumstances change, and for example, what you deem as suitable enough conditions. For example, you have a list of like 1 to 100 of like circumstances that have to be met in order for you to decipher the situation as a good enough to raise a child.
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, that might increase, that might decrease.
Okay.
Right? You guys had this discussion. He thought there's 100 items on that list, right? Now there's 150 because the times have changed. 5 years, entire economy has
but
changed.
my circumstances, they could be fixed circumstances. Like, as long as I take those 5 boxes, then fine, we can discuss having a child. And even then, it could be a no. It could be a yes. So that's where the open conversation comes in. Like, it could be that, okay, I will have a child with you if this is met. But at the same time, I might not feel comfortable at the time, you know? So it's just me being open enough to let him know that, okay, it could happen, it could not happen. So he needs to be fine with the idea that potentially, if, like, we are a couple, he may not have children,
But
you
what-
know?
yeah.
But my point is, circumstances, like you mentioned, they do change, so on and so forth. But so does circumstances with having a child. They also change. You never know anything for certain. But what you can know is and what you can do is try your best to equip yourself to have a child. I am not ready whatsoever right now to have a child.
You don't even have like a significant other, so like it's not even...
But that's what I mean. Like, that's my point. It's like, okay, let's say you meet someone tomorrow. Okay,
Why would I have a child with someone I met yesterday?
I know you're taking it literally. I meant like, let's say you're so ready to get married. You're so ready to get married. Do you think like tomorrow's your wedding, you're getting married, after tomorrow, do you think you're ready to have a child?
No, not right now. I don't have the finances for it. But then to be honest, like but I'm going into a marriage knowing that I want to have kids. That's different. That eventually I'm for sure having a kids before the clock ticks, before 40, 42, where I'm biologically, I mean, maybe with medicine now, with egg freezing and stuff like that, that pushes a couple of more years. But now I'm going into a marriage knowing that eventually, if there's no physical something that stops me, I want to have kids. Yours is dependent on a situation.
Yeah, mine is dependent on the circumstance. I want to make sure that if I was to bring up a child, I'm not bringing up a child where they're potentially suffering in any of like the avenues, if that makes sense. Like, I, financially speaking, like my living conditions, my I don't know, mindset, my views, they're not like set to raise a child, you know? So I need to make sure that, like, okay, if I'm going to have a child, I need to have a mindset change, first of all, where anything that happens, I'm doing it for my kid, and I'm doing it for this and that. Financially speaking, I'm 100% stable in a sense where, okay, if this happens, if that comes crashing down or anything, I have these other avenues, I have these other assets, which I am able to rely on. Should anything hit the fan, my child is still going to be good. I don't have that.
You don't have that at the moment, but you know what's so crazy? You can have that in one moment. You decide to have the child, and the next day you don't have that anymore.
No, true, but that's what I'm saying. I have backups. I don't have that.
No, but I'm saying even those backups that you're talking about.
No, but the likelihood, it's unlikely.
What the,
seen? Just like how you can have a child,
yeah,
and they grow up to have, I don't know, difficulties or issues,
yeah,
or you know, you can have a child and something can happen to you the other day. You don't know, but you can prepare for it. That's my point.
No,
you
true.
can always prepare.
You can never prepare for everything though.
You can't prepare for everything, but I can at least prepare for the basics.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm
a
not
child
saying
needs food, it needs shelter, I don't have those capabilities to raise a child yet.
No, sure, because obviously you don't know what the financial situation of your significant other is. Because what if he's also a bum?
Exactly.
So that's also, that means it's 100% financially on you.
Okay, I'm not gonna marry a bum first of all.
No, but like, yeah,
you know, like let's say he also is in a situation where, you know, he's not able to financially provide for. Let's say he can help, like, you know, with the household stuff, like, simultaneously with me, we can do like a shared thing. He's not able to provide for another extra individual or something like that. Like, you know, if we're gonna struggle, we might as well just try and fix up to try and better our conditions before we can think of having a child. That's my point.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys can have, when it comes to having a child, it's not about how much you have. Like, yeah, you can have plan A, plan B, plan C, and then like plan B is for plan A to fail, and then plan C is for plan B to fail. But that's probably the extent of how much many plans you can have once they, like, basically.
It depends on my circumstance, on my situation. I can have D, C, E, F, G, H, whatever. It depends on my situation. Like, let's say if, I don't know, let's say this podcast flourishes, right? And I start earning really great income, okay? And I have, like, different avenues, different assets, different everything. I'm going to make sure that there is a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Should this happen? Should that not happen? That's just the way my brain works. So if I'm doing that for a child, I need to make sure that, okay, there is a backup. Should anything happen, even if something was to happen to me, I thought of that before, like, you know, I bring up a child. Because the idea is, like, for me personally, is that I don't want to bring up a child where they can easily suffer. Like, you know, they're easily in a position where it's like, suffer. You know, obviously they will, but, like, I'm saying, like right now, if I was to raise a child, right now, if I was to, like, but wait, let's say 9 months, okay? 9 months, I bring up a child right now, I won't even have the capacity to feed them, if I'm being honest.
No, but
if I'm being honest.
The question was never about you having a child right now. It's about you, the potential having it once you have a spouse. And then also...
And I'm ready.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, you're saying depending on the circumstance, but that's my point here as well. In my opinion, you can never be ready to the extent that you're thinking you're going to be ready.
No, but you're thinking my extent is extreme. I don't see it as that.
But that's what I'm saying. Realistically speaking, it is extreme. Because,
well, maybe to you, but not to me. I feel like, because what I've seen from my experience is there have been a lot of people, even I've experienced this in my own extended family. I've seen family members jump into stuff, get married, have kids the next day. The kids are brought up in such a difficult environment where it could have been easily avoidable if they just made slight decisions or they just waited until their situation got a little bit better. So that's how, like, from my experiences, I've seen some really bad stories, really sad stories where some parents, they're not ready to be parents. And I know for a fact I'm not ready to be a parent. I'm 100% not ready to be a parent yet. If my circumstances, my situation is in a good situation where, okay, I'm good. I'm not saying like everything needs to be perfect. Like, let's say if, like, I don't know, let's say we don't have a house, or like, you know, I'm renting for the time, but everything else is good. I'm fine to have a child. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not setting up like a royalty standard. I'm just saying, like, okay, if this happens, is my child going to have food on the table? Are they going to have shelter? Are they going to get a good education? Do they have these access? If not, if I don't have those access, like this access myself, without the support from, let's say, my family, how can I raise a child?
No, but you're talking about basic
can't.
necessities.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But you said, I don't want them to suffer. Children are gonna
because you're
suffer.
gonna suffer if you don't have those necessities.
But they're gonna suffer. They can have necessities and suffer.
No, of course. But that's why I agreed with you. I was like, every child is gonna suffer
It's
at
gonna
some
suffer.
capacity or not.
And
but
then-
what you can do as a parent is you can try
Minimize.
to, yeah, exactly.
Sure. I'm not
exactly.
obviously like more. In the end of the day, I feel like I agree with you as well. Like you should be able to. You have a financially
because trust me, Mace, there are so many people I know personally who have neglected their children, and they've been brought up in the worst conditions ever, when they were completely capable of, like, you know, making necessary adjustments in their life and putting their selfish needs aside for a bit for the sake of their child, and they haven't done that. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to bring up a child like that.
No, and I don't think you should. And it would be like selfish, just like you said, to do so. But in my point of view, is the fact that, like, I feel like definitely, like, when you're talking about, oh, do I have money? Do I have a stable job to provide for this child? Do I have a roof over my head? Do I have
See, these
a
things right
supportive
now,
spouse?
I don't have that.
No, that's fine. But I never
Yeah.
asked you whether you want a child right now. I asked you down the line once you have your spouse.
No, but that's the thing.
But-
That's the thing. I don't know if 5-10 years down the line I'm going to be in a similar situation or not. I don't know about that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That you when those things that you're talking about, those are basic necessities. You can never stop a child from suffering. They're gonna suffer in some capacity, even if they're brought up in the
course,
best family ever.
Yeah.
And again, even with the all of the planning that you have or your stable job, people
There could
get
still
laid
be a
off.
chance. Yeah, there could still be a chance.
With you
yeah.
having the best husband out there. From the messages that we read today, that could not
Yeah.
always be the
Yeah.
truth. You know, maybe maybe later on mental health, like basically issues
Develop.
and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It could be that, for example, you guys have a house,
Yeah.
one of you loses their income, and then now it's up for mortggage. It's
It
like has
catches
to be
on fire or
remortgaged
something.
like that.
Of course,
Those
things are
you-
always going
gonna
to be happen.
But
The
basic
inevitable will
necessities-
happen. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, you can always prepare for it. You can always try your best to
Can you
prepare
for
for
a
it.
fire.
No, of course, yeah, you can prepare for a fire. Yeah, potential fire. You can be safe.
No, but prepare for
Have
a fire.
fire equipment in the house.
No, but as in, like, okay, sure, prepare for the fire, get like a fire extinguisher and everything like that.
But if something
can
is going
you
to
prepare
happen,
for
it's
your
the inevitable.
fire?
It will happen no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
How much
But
you
you can prepare for it.
But
You
no
can prepare
matter
for
how
it.
much you're prepared for it, how much how
If it
prepared-
happens, it happens. Yeah, I know.
Exactly, it's
I
gonna
know.
happen.
Anything right now, I can go home and I can never make it home.
Yeah.
Like,
The
God
thing-
forbid that happens.
Yeah,
but
the
like,
thing is when
I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I can do is I can prepare myself.
Yeah.
I can look twice down the road. I can make sure that I'm walking on the sidewalk. I can make sure that I'm following the regulations. I can make sure I can prepare myself to not, meet those standards. Granted that anything could happen.
Yeah, and you can never be 100%
But I can,
prepared.
of course, I'm not saying I want to be 100% prepared. My point is, I want to be prepared for, like, just for the basic stuff, like for the fact that, like, okay, if this happens, that happens, I've done something where I made sure that I can minimize my child's suffering if should anything happen. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So because what I've seen is there's a lot of negligence that happens in families around children. A lot of people start resenting their children. A lot of people, so it's like you need to have that mindset where it's like, okay, you're bringing up this child into this world. Anything that you do now moving forward is going to be for your child. Always put your child in your mind. See if, okay, I'm going to take this step. How is this going to affect my child? Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So I think that perspective, I'm not ready for yet because I still don't have the capabilities to. Let's say tomorrow, I don't know, get promoted to like, I don't know, a 6-figure job.
You win a $1 million lottery.
Yeah, I don't know, something happens. My lifestyle does a 180. I'm no longer fully reliant on my family. I'm doing this and that and that. I could be ready for a child. I could be ready for a child tomorrow. I could be like, okay, I'm ready for a child. But if I'm not, and
What
I
about
know
the
that,
mindset?
and I know that like, oh, I am not 100% capable of bringing up a child, I'm not going to do it.
But here's my point. You
Yeah.
can never be 100% capable.
No, I know, of course. But you get what I mean.
Yeah, like
you
that's
get
what I'm
I
saying.
mean.
When it comes to terminology around raising a kid, having a kid, you can never be 100%. You can never be
Yeah,
absolute.
you can never, yeah.
You can never be prepared. Like you can prepare for the best. You can hope for the best. You can work your hardest. Tomorrow you can wake up and have zilch in your name.
Everything
And you
is
have to have trust in yourself
Yeah.
that if that happens, I am capable in standing on my own feet again with that child with me. And
Yeah,
without
of course,
neglecting
of
them.
course.
It's not only financial, it's also like
Yeah,
there's a lot of aspects, emotional.
mindset wise, everything.
And I
like,
have to say, I
yeah.
think when it comes to raising children, the mindsets of middle children is a bit more different than older children, like people who are born and raised
having
older
multiple
children.
kids, yeah.
No, as in like right now, your mentality is a bit
Oh,
different
you
than
mean like,
mine
yeah, as me, yeah,
because
okay, yeah.
because you're a middle child and I'm
It does affect,
I'm
yeah.
an older sister. So for me in my head,
You get a lot more pressure, right?
not only pressure but also I see myself mentally and not financially for sure, not right now at all, but like mentally, and then also physically we don't know, we haven't checked to the doctors yet, but like mentally speaking, if tomorrow there's a child dropped on top of in front of my door and they're like, this is your child, I see I would be just fine raising them. And I'm not
Oh,
just
don't
talking,
get me wrong. I am fine with raising a child. I can raise a child. I can. And I have, technically speaking. I've raised my youngest brother. I have. Like, he's basically like another copy of me, if I'm being honest. Like, that's fine. I can raise a child. But, do I have the potential of bringing up a child where I am in a position where I'm actually capable of putting them first before me? I'm capable of providing for them in a sense where they're not suffering, but at the same time I'm not neglecting them? No.
okay, but
I'm not
question,
ready.
does that mean you want to be a housewife mom?
I don't really see myself as a housewife. I think it depends. So if I have a child,
Like a stay-home mom.
So
Because
if
you want to put them first.
no, I don't see that as like putting them first. As long as like obviously they're taken care of, that's fine.
By who?
But I meant in the sense that like I don't see myself as a stay-at-home wife. But what I will say is, if I do have a child right now, I will take time out of work for a few years, like 3 or 4 years, and then maybe when they start going to school, I'll just go back to work.
But that's not really putting them first 100%.
I am, because I also want to provide for them as well. I'm going to work.
Sure, you're
I'm
providing.
also living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can, listen, coming from the household of 2 working parents,
Yeah.
they'll always be missing on something. It doesn't matter if you're providing them.
But that's what I'm saying. You're never going to 100%, like you
Like-
mentioned, you're never going to 100%
Yeah.
deplete someone's suffering, right? They're
Yeah.
obviously going to have some sort of
So why not
negligence
have
or
one
anything.
parent work and one parent stay at home?
You don't know what maybe the dad is the stay-at-home dad. Maybe he works night shifts. I don't know what the situation is like. I'll see what's best for my kid. Like
Yeah.
obviously, let's say, God forbid, my kid is special needs.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to work. I'm not.
Yeah.
It is dependent on the situation.
Yeah.
But my point is, obviously, if my child is healthy, they can speak, they can articulate themselves well, they're like, starting school and everything, I can go and do my business side hustle. I can go back to work. Why not? I don't mind doing that. It's not affecting my child negatively.
But it will.
We don't know. We don't know.
I'm telling you, from a household where both parents worked, it will.
But I know, not parents. Sorry, I know people who do have two parents who work full-time jobs, and they get nannies and everything, and they liked it. Like, they did not feel like their parents were neglecting them, because they understood. It all depends on the child. They understood the concept that their parents had to do this for them.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
It's all a concept.
Of course.
So like, it's not like they didn't suffer. They did, but it did not affect or impact their family dynamic or their relationship with their parents in like a horrible way, where they were like, oh, I felt so neglected by my parents. Like, they still had family dinners. They still, like, whenever like their dad was in town or something, they still made sure to make the most out of time and stuff like that. But I think it does depend. It depends on the child, and also depends on the parents.
But I mean, because I also know like what kind of field of work that you want to get into. So that's also gonna add a layer.
I don't know. Maybe in 5 years' time, I don't know. Maybe it's the pod. The pod goes.
So you become a stay-home mom with a podcast.
Maybe
you call it Mormon moms.
Maybe, you never know. The thing is, it's all circumstantial. Maybe in 2 years' time, maybe I'm still working in the same job that I'm working in. I might have to quit to take care of my child. If my child needs me, like, because they will need me.
But your child will forever need you until the age of 18. Even over the age of 18.
Oh,
coming from
I still need my parents.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even over the age of 18, we grew up in a culture whereby you always need your parents. And because in the end of the day, just like, we see it as this. Obviously, a lot of Western world does not say it like that. We see it as we taking care of our parents. But sorry, they're taking care of us right now because we will take care of them later on.
Of course.
It's not transactional at all, but it's rather paying back, being grateful and showing our gratefulness and basically
I don't think we will ever pay our parents
No,
back,
I don't think we can ever do that, honestly. And I always sometimes think about this, like how much better our parents has provided for us than their parents have provided for us. And I honestly don't think I can do that much of a jump from our parents.
I don't think I can either.
I honestly, truthfully speaking, sometimes I doubt whether I can even provide to my kids the way that my parents provided for us. Like, honestly,
that's also another thing that scares me.
And not because we're wearing designers. Like, just like what they said like last episode, we don't wear designers. It's not about designer. It's about the ultimate, how our parents prioritize the right things. Yes, I don't think I've ever owned the Gucci shoes. I've never owned the Gucci bag. Until recently, I think I saw my mom wearing like a little bit like, or maybe like a designer sunglasses or anything like that. Until recently, like until like what her oldest, like youngest son right now is the age of like 23. Imagine. So my parents have prioritized us always forever, all the time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like sometimes I feel like I think it's in because this economy as well. That's like what's scaring me more than about me being mentally ready for a child. For me, in this economy, I don't see how anybody can afford a child.
But that's my point. I don't think I'm capable of taking care of a child. Like I'm just gonna have to be honest with my future spouse. Like, a child is a maybe. I'm sorry. At least in our generation. The world is messed up.
A child in our generation is a luxury, by the way.
Yeah, like, you need to fulfill so many criterias to be able to be like, okay, I am ready for a child.
100%.
Like, I don't think I will be ready for a child in the near future.
I wanted to be home a cat, right? And I just sat down with myself. I was like, okay, first of all, I have to pay that much to basically, let's say if I adopt it or like if I buy it. Honestly, ideally speaking, there's a specific...
Getting a cat is like having a child, If
I want to get a specific cat, that's fine. That's a down payment of once, think, whatever. Like, we can get it sorted. We get the cat. Now I have to pay insurance, make sure that she's fed, make sure that she's not bored, maybe make sure that she's not depressed, whatever. That's going to take a lot of time. And
at least for the first couple months, I have to switch my schedule where like, oh, my sister can come and check up on her during the day when I'm at work in the office. And we're just talking about a cat. Not to say that a cat is not an important life or anything like that, but we're talking about a cat whereby she does not have intellectual needs of like learning and education. I don't have to put her through school. I don't have to put her
You
through
can
university.
also,
Like
some
our
people also
parents
leave
did.
their cats in the house. They know how to navigate the house by themselves.
As a kitten,
they know where,
I have to raise her
as a
and make
kitten.
sure.
But
yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, you know, and like, you know, but like they learn very fast compared to a child. So
Of
it's
course, but at the same time, it's like a child has so much more needs down
Of
the
course,
line.
yeah.
And a child lives longer, hopefully, than a cat does, you know, just like biology. But also is the fact that, like, even with that, I was thinking about a cat. I'm like, oh, that's a commitment. And I'm going to get it eventually, right? But it's a tough task because it's as simple as, like, oh, you know, like, I'm not going to be able to do it by myself. I need my sister to come and, like,
Take
for
her to
example,
the vet.
Feed it
take
when
her
I'm at
to-
work, you
yeah,
know? Like,
no,
who's going
yeah,
to come and feed it at
literally.
12 o'clock when it's lunchtime?
And that's also a privilege, by the way, the fact that you have someone that can
That
take
can-
care
that
of
can
it.
take care of it, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people
Otherwise,
don't.
I have to be an extra added cost of, oh, I need an automatic feeder.
Yeah, true. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is a lot. Not gonna lie, but it's just the. A lot of people, you know what they do when they want to trial being parents, they do get pets.
Get a pet.
Yeah, because it is similar to raising a child,
Yeah.
but it's never the same. Like I think it's not until like you actually go through the process
Yeah.
and like you actually get a child, then you will definitely realize what
a child
parenting
is
is.
different.
Parenting
First
is
of
like.
all, a cat does not wake up for the first 3 years. Every 2 hours need to be fed. They don't speak. They don't run. They don't, like, obviously, yeah, I have to make it pet friendly. That's like my apartment. But at the same time, it's like, it's so much easier than raising a kid. That's like,
Yeah.
that's not even scratching the surface of what raising a kid is. And it takes a lot of planning. And I'm not gonna lie, like, in this economy, having a child is a luxury. Having two, you're rich. And obviously,
it
I know
really
just like
is.
what this a lot of people who are very selfish. They just want to have kids for whatever reason, like, or whether
Some do it for
it's-
benefits purposes. Like some people do it for
because
government
it's expected
purposes.
from them as women. Some of them is because
Yeah.
culturally speaking. Some men do it because if you've been married for a year and you haven't had a child yet, it's a bad indication on your manlyhood or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
like
ego. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, oh, you know, you're not good enough of a man or whatever the hell this entire discussion is. I don't even. It's not even worth space in my head. But also, it's just like the thing is, it's like in this economy. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, this generation, it does not hustle. Look at us on a weekend filming a podcast, chatting, you know, like about this economical state of the world. But the thing
Yeah.
is, we cannot deny the fact that living right now, breathing seems to cost money. I don't leave my
It's
house
so
and come back.
bad.
Even if I want to go to the office and like I pack my lunch and whatever, if I want to get a coffee, get transport, and then like literally that's it. I can never come back home, and if I want to get like lunch with me on the way to make ingredients to make food at home, I can never go a day without spending less than £40.
No, it's actually insane, guys. Like it's getting to the
For one
point where
person.
yeah, it's getting to the point where we're literally living on the edge every single day. Like it's so toxic, it's crazy. And I don't like how a lot of like the older generations, they always compare their time period with ours. It's like you literally can buy a week's worth of groceries for £7.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you want to buy one thing, it would cost at least 20.
Meat, like a 1
insane.
kilogram of meat will be more than £7.
It's insane. So it's like the fact that things are like they're not even comparable. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, inflation is over the roof. Like countries are not agreeing with each other. Like not to say that obviously older generations did not have the struggles of their own, but economically speaking, we're also going through like recessions. We're going through these hardships that we're not getting as much leniency because back in the day, like let's say people were able to afford housing and be comfortable. Right now, if you were to look at a house, I would be surprised if someone my age, like 25 years old, has like a house and they've done it themselves without any support.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be very shocked. Not to say that's never happened, but it's very rare. Like it's impossible. So yeah, I think it just this generation. I just feel like raising a child, there's just so much that goes
Yeah.
into it. Not
And
gonna lie.
also, again, I think our parents had set the standards a bit too high. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So,
and also
if anything,
it's like,
blame our parents.
yeah, and also I've never like lived in a time where I had to sacrifice so much for something.
Yeah.
My parents have, and that was us, but I don't think I've experienced like sacrificing I've sacrificed some, but like I'm sacrificing so much to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm giving my all to this thing. I don't think I've experienced that. And obviously, until you have a child, you know, when you actually do breed a child, you have that connection with them.
It's insane they use the word breed.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said breed. And I got like just
No,
like
let me explain.
like misogynistic vibes slap me across. I was triggered. I have to be
Let
honest.
me explain.
Because I've only
talking
seen
about pets. I think we were talking
I've
about
only
animals.
seen toxic alpha male say the word breed. I'll have to be honest with you. Scared me for a second.
That's so funny.
Made me feel like we're in the animal kingdom. I felt objectified as a woman from a woman to a woman. I have to be honest with you.
You get my point, though.
I do get your point. It's just the use of vocabulary
I
threw
think
me
it's
off.
because we were talking about like cats and like.
I get it. If I want to breed, that's insane. You know, if my man tells me let's breed a child,
I don't
I'll
even
yeet
think
him out of this
I don't even
earth.
think that's a sentence that could
That's
be said.
insane.
But yeah, like you know, when you actually give birth to a child and everything, the connection that happens and everything, it's unspeakable
Yeah.
in a sense that like you know there are no words that can comprehend how much you would love that child.
And how much you would sacrifice for them, yeah?
Exactly. And you know, obviously the opposite can happen. You know, some women actually start resenting the child and hating them.
Yeah, but that's postpartum depression.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it has
yeah.
its
So
own
it's
things,
all
you know?
subjective. It all happens like individually and everything, but like it's inexplainable for the majority of people. And yeah, I would do everything in my power for sure if I have a kid of my own. But for now, I've just never experienced that before, so I don't know what it's like. And maybe
But
that's
that could be said with everybody who didn't give birth to anything. Like everyone who the first time they have a child. To be fair.
But you know, but
It's a
not,
shared
not
experience.
everyone. Like for example, I have friends who get baby fever every single. We know someone who gets baby fever like every single day. Like you know, and they've never had a child before. They don't even have a partner right now. Like you know, like some people they love children, and like
I mean, I love
and
children to a certain extent,
like-
but I'm not dumb
to a
enough.
certain extent. That's the key word. To a certain extent, I'm good with kids as well.
Yeah.
But I don't go about my way going on TikTok, going like, oh my, getting baby fever, because there are people like that, you know, and there are a lot of people who are passionate. There are a lot
They're
of
fake
people who, huh?
They sometimes fake it.
I don't know.
How can
you
you
never
have
know.
that much baby fever over the
It
phone?
happens though. It happens.
Does
You would
it
be
happen
surprised,
or do they
Mace.
say it happens?
You would be surprised.
Does it happen or do they say it happens?
I mean, I don't know because I don't experience baby fever that much.
Like
but
I love kids. I like to take care of kids, like regardless of whether they're on my
Yeah.
own. Even if they're not related to me, I like playing with kids and whatever. But like for me to get baby fever over a restaurant, like babies are cute. If I see a cute baby, oh, this is a cute baby.
Can I be
So-
honest? This is very controversial. I don't find a lot of babies cute. I'm not gonna lie, especially newborns. They
'Cause
kind
they're
of scare me.
They're wrinkly.
Like they.
But that's because they have to work up. They have to wake up.
Yeah,
like,
but
they have
you know,
to work on their body.
yeah, but you know the thing is,
Quite
it's
literally.
like, no, but the thing is, it's like I don't understand people who go like, oh my god, it's so cute, and
No,
then
no, no, no.
and I'm like,
all of them are lying.
I'm like,
all of them in the beginning, they're like, wallahi, I'm telling you.
I think they lie
the
because they're
first
trying to
2
comfort
months,
themselves.
I've-
They're
the
scary.
The first 40 days, if someone tells you your baby is so cute, he's lying to your face, slap the shit out of him.
Because it
The
looks like
first
something
40
from
days-
like I don't know from space. Yeah, like an alien
They're
from
wrinkly.
space.
It takes 40 days for them to like become a bit more chubby, not chubby, but like, just like to form into
Yeah,
their body.
yeah, yeah.
They don't
Get
have,
used to
they
it,
don't have
yeah.
the skin thing on their head.
yeah,
They're like
yeah.
they're not like until they open their eyes as well. Even the
Oh
color
my god!
of the
Speaking,
eyes.
I didn't know that babies didn't see color for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
I don't know how long.
They don't even see
Like
anything
at first
the
they
first
saw
month.
they saw in like black and white. I think when they
The
first opened their
month is like
their eyes.
just like grainy black and white. They don't even see
That's
objects,
crazy.
and that's why sometimes they what is it called? They like the voice of the mom because they're used to that voice much more than the dad.
See, they're not human. Babies are not human. until you pass a certain stage.
You're about to get us cancelled. Forget about everything that we said so far. You never come for babies in this economy.
But they are cute. Babies are cute, but it's just
Not
the
all
newborn.
babies.
Like the second you like,
Not all
I don't know why everyone says they're cute. Like I'm just like they don't.
No. Honestly, like all babies have the potential to be cute.
Of course, yeah,
but
of course.
not all of them. But all of them, the first 40 days, they're not. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, they don't. Their eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Their feet are wrinkly. Like, they're like their skin is like so like, and then they're like blue, purple, and then they're like literally so red. And like they haven't developed a skin tone yet. Like not to say anything about it, but like they're still like they're actually actively
their
working on
body is,
developing
like,
a body. So like before 40 days they're not cute. They're babies. I'm not saying they're ugly. They're not saying they're disgusting, but they're not cute. Cute is something that's like like a penguin, like a baby penguin. That's a cute thing, right? But like like for example, the chicks when they first leave the egg hatch, right? They're not cute at the beginning until the fluffy feather, the yellow
they look
feather.
scary.
Then they look cute.
Yeah.
They have to develop into their own bodies, you know what I mean? And then objectively speaking, it could be like, oh, you can see a baby cute because I like chubby babies. Some people don't like chubby babies. I like chubby babies. For me, if I say chubby babies, automatically cute to me. That would be like, no, I don't like chubby babies. I like them to be cute and petite, for example. I love how objectifying children. But anyways,
I don't
like,
think that's healthy to have a baby that's petite. It's like they actually need the chubbiness.
Like the nutrition.
But
like for example, like for me, what I find cute is when the babies have
the rolls.
the muffin rolls.
That's so cute.
So like for me, it's like it depends. You might like the muffin rolls or the legs. You know what I mean?
No,
but
for
like
sure.
it's just at the beginning, the first 40 days, I don't care. Even if it's my own child, they're not cute. I love them because obviously as a mother, I would love them no matter what. And as their father, like obviously the father should love them as no matter what. But we cannot sit here and deny the fact that the first 40 days, no baby is cute. And that's okay.
Man.
And that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
And I think we should wrap it up because our equipments are dying.
Yes, no, for sure. We
And
spoke
we're
a lot
dying
about
too.
babies. But yeah.
You know, it's so funny. We don't even have partners. Forget about like us or wanting to. We don't even have spouses. We don't even have complicated relationships.
Yeah.
You know? But
I think I told even Mace that like when I have a partner, we need like after our marriage, we need at least 2 years before you even think of having a child. So
100%.
Yeah.
I always say, trial the marriage. You guys have to go through ups and downs together. You guys have to fight together. You cannot be fighting for the first time while you're pregnant. That's insane.
Or getting a
Oh my
divorce.
God, there's a
that's
ladybug.
crazy. Oh, how cute. Right, and with that being said,
Kwaheri.